Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever it is for you. I'm Psycho, and this is Let's Play Train Simulator. We are now set to running the number 3 track. Running number 3 track is the name of the scenario. That's what we're looking at today. You just saw Granite Via Wycon, and you saw those funny tricks that I used last time to bring the train to a stop a bit quicker. I'm not going to try and do that with the SD70M, however, because it does have a train brake, but I don't think the reverser with the combined brake, or maybe with a throttle with the combined brake, I don't think it's going to work as well. And I did have another run of this, but I decided to re-record this run because literally what happened is I ran a red light on that one. I might keep that for the blooper reel. I may have already deleted it actually, but I think it's still on my external drive so I can get it back. I may keep the red light for the blooper reel just to show you exactly how in that reel running the red light is obviously a blooper. So, but I also, you get to hear me complaining in that about how off the timing is and how bad it is. And I'm going to obviously complain about that more here too. In this recording, you're going to see me probably complain about that more because I'm going to be trying to hit that timing on time. I'm probably not going to make it though because you have to slow down. You have 3/100ths of a mile to make this timing coming to a stop, and it is very hard to make that timing, especially if you slow down a ton before you get into that timing. The good news is the 1,000-point run is still possible, so we may still be able to pull it off here. Let's find out if I can pull off another 1,000-point run to match this one that's already on my screen here. This one's actually not as bad as Granite Via Icon. Just that one timing is really bad. The rest are fairly easy to make. So this should be a pretty straightforward run with the exception of that first timing. Let's go ahead and get into that scenario right now. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening there. I'll see you in the map. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the SD70M cab here. We have a bit of an active cab here. We have the M meter on the right, which doesn't really do anything in our DLC here. It's just an indicator, not really anything else. Shows brake and power used, the power used. There's our meters for the brake control, which are standard, nothing unusual with those. Same as the ES44AC and the switcher, in fact. So exact same kind of things. The pressure currently set to 84 because our brakes are on. And a couple other meters, so the speedometer is in here, and I actually have to remind myself what this one in the middle is. But there's our brake and power. You can notice that it is combined power and throttle. So brake and power. So we're going to come down to get power. We're going to go, if I can select it. No, yeah. We come down for power. We go up for brakes. That's how this one works. But there is a separate independent brake over here. Train brake rather. You can still use the train brake separately in addition to getting the power on the brake from the combined one. The reason for that is because this may not be enough to bring down the putting the brakes up into, come on, select it. Putting the brakes up in here will not be enough to get the power slow down on the train that you need necessarily. So we're going to be using the train brake still and possibly riding that brake at times as well. That can still happen here. So you're still going to see me doing that periodically. There's a independent brake over here which we're not going to use. It's not going to help us on a big train. Here is our alerter, which doesn't do anything for us because we're not on a route that requires an alerter. There's something here that's not programmed, another button. Here's our bell. Here's our horn. Ignore the train going by. We have a couple buttons here that don't do anything. Actually, this button is the sander, so you can still drop some sand. This neat sand just goes down with it. There's a clipboard here which does nothing. Some other settings over here such as headlights, which are right there. Below it, the buttons don't do anything, but there are some other settings for cab lights, things like that over here. I'm not going to go over every single one, but there's the cab light, which is the main one if you want to get some light in your cab. There's the step lights. And let me see if I can highlight anything else interesting quickly. No, there are other ones over here. I just can't find them very quickly in the in my cab right now. And that's pretty much the majority of what's interesting on this. So let's go ahead and get into the scenario. We're going to go ahead and get started. You're running a heavy auto rack train, so you'll be routed west on the number 3 track. The line is a bit longer, but there shouldn't be any holdups and grades are easier. A rookie is riding in the cab with you this morning. He's called Tom. Show him the ropes. Roger. Here's the train. Number 4969 is what we're driving today. Dispatch 4949. Okay, that's a typo. 4949, you are clear to go. We're 4969. Read the train. Wait for 7847 eastbound to pass before crossing on number 3 track. The typos go to numbers too. Train numbers, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even know if 4949 is a valid train at this point, but maybe it is. I don't know. Gotta put the reversal forward. I'm gonna wait for Trump. Well, actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead. I'm gonna go to a minimal speed application right now. Hey there, thanks for letting me ride. I transferred here recently. You need to learn the line. Roger. So we're gonna go up to a minimal speed application right now. I know the signal will change in exactly 2 minutes from now, so we're going to go on that basis, and I don't want to go too fast knowing that. So I'm getting up to 15. I'm going to see how far we are from the signal, and I'll judge it from there. So drop the throttle back off. Actually, I'm going to keep it on level 1. And apparently it can't make up its mind whether it wants to go up or down, so I'm going to freeze it right there. I want to go 15, not 16. Being a little fussy today. So there's one particular thing about this scenario that you're going to enjoy, and it's me trying to make my way through a stop point that is 300 of a mile away from a red signal. 7847 eastbound auto rack has started to go by. We're now 1 man away from the signal, and I can put a little more speed on. I can probably about double it, but I'm not going to do that. Double is still too much for me right now. So I know that we're going to have to cross the junction, and the junction speed limit is 30 miles per hour. It's not marked on our map. We're just expected to know that. So since I know that, I'm going to follow that. Naturally. Throttle lock for a moment. We're 20 seconds away from a signal change, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep the throttle on at this point, because we're going to be getting there in time. Going to change right about now. Watch it. Here it is. There you go. Done. It's actually a few seconds late, but I'll take it. So we're going to set on our 30 speed limit right now, because that's all we're allowed to go right now. And let's take a nice look at all the traffic going along over here. Ah. Nice vehicles over here. Beautiful vehicles. Beautiful vehicles. Oh, they teleport. That, I believe, is our railfan spot. If you do a railfan scenario, you're going to be hanging out right here when you, if you don't move around the map. That's where you're railfan in this scenario. Or in this map, rather. At least that's on the Cheyenne side. There are 2 more railfan spots at Dale and at Laramie. So, railfan options are all over the place. You have the ability to use whichever ones. Like, there are 3 railfan scenarios included. You can do any of those 3 railfan scenarios included. And we'll explore those later as well. I don't see a reason we shouldn't explore those later. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to keep an eye on that signal that we passed back there. That signal is going to tell us when it gets out of sight. We're going to be about 15 seconds or so away from getting up to 35 at that point, and then 40. Actually, I think we go straight into the 40. I don't even think we see 35. That was my best signal pass yet, so to speak, at the start of the scenario. So I just have to maintain my speeds, and hopefully I can make the timing I want to make here. Because if I can make this one timing on time, we're going to finish the scenario. There's no reason not to finish at that point. Because you're going to see, hopefully, a perfectly well done scenario at that point. We have green signals everywhere. This line is not busy enough today. We need more trains. More trains, I tell you! Here's the overhead view. That's the, I believe that's an interstate. Well, let's say Interstate 80. That might be Interstate 80, but I think it's actually a different road. I think it's a branching road from the main interstate. A branching interstate. There you go. You've heard of the 180, the 280, the 380. There you go. If you stay on tracks 1 and 2, you will find Interstate 80. We've already seen that a few times, actually. The signal that we passed previously is out of view. That was a green signal, by the way. So the signal's out of view from previously, and we can go up to 40 now. So I'm going to pump that throttle up. Going to start lowering the throttle now so we don't go too fast. If we maintain about 37%, we'll hold our speed, I believe. So I'm going to test that by checking it here, and yes, I'm going to increase again now. We'll have the ability to go to 50 in a moment. By the time we see that next signal, we'll be getting up to 50. I'm going to start trying to crank her now because I think we can start moving it up. Yeah, we're in good shape right now. This is good. So the 50 has now reached the back of our train, and we are now under the effect of the 50, so there it is. I'll take a quick moment to show you where we are on the line here. We're now in a spot, we're coming up on a spot where another train started the scenario. We're going to be following that train down the track right here. It's on the track number 4 right now. We're on track number 3. So that's what we're doing right now. Now for some stupid reason, this train comes to a stop and then crosses in front of us. I don't know what this dispatcher is doing. He does something really stupid in this scenario. Quick look at our goal, by the way. You can see that we have 6 miles to go to our first waypoint. We have 8 minutes to go to that waypoint. It's going to be tight. But we got a 50 to go for a little while here. I just have to get up to the speed, but we got 50 to go for a little while, and we can maintain that for about 5 of those miles. Then we have to slow down. And 5 miles might actually be a bit of an overestimate on that. Given that we're not quite there yet. We are barely gaining speed on 75% throttle. That is interesting for this 0.8 uphill. I expected better speed acceleration on this. So I expect our next couple signals will be green. Now we're basically getting up to 50 right now. We're only at 50 now. So how are we doing now? Okay. That's 4.5 miles, just over 4.5 miles. So yeah, we're down to 6 minutes. And I'm losing speed at level 5 throttle, so there you go. This is going to be fun. This is gonna be fun today, boys and girls. I'm just doing that for fun. There's no reason to do that. They want to ding us for improper horn use, go for it. There's a crossing here anyway. So I think we're going to have one more signal here for green. This is the green signal. The next one should be likely a yellow. Unless the dispatcher has a sudden brain realization that we're here. I don't predict that happening. There's our potential yellow signal, so I'm going to start slowing down a little bit after that signal. Not much though, because I have to manage the brakes properly for our stop. Yes, I said stop, even though it's a go via command. And this is going to be very, very challenging to do, so bear with me here. Coming up on a water tower. That's that mark you see about a little over half a mile away on the map. That's a water tower. We're still green actually. I thought this would be our yellow. I got it mixed up. Our yellow is after this. So you can see how tight this is going to be. We got 2 signals to go, about a minute for each one. Minute and a half for each one. And I still have to slow down. So yeah, this will be fun. So here's our yellow signal coming up. Don't believe me? I should keep zoomed in and give you guys this view, except for the wiper that is going to be in our way all the time here. I wonder for that wiper, I'd keep that view for you. That's a good view. Right there. So there's that yellow signal I was referring to. We're going exactly 50 right now. If we're gonna have the best chance we could of getting this on the right marker here, but we got about 3 minutes to make the stop. A little less than 3 minutes to make the stop. Because I have that time, I'm gonna just remove some of the throttle right now. Some very interestingly manufacturing themselves power towers in the distance. Towers of power. And as we do a request, you can see our request to pass is denied. They decided to dispatch this train in front of us in some stupid fashion. So we're going to have to live with their decision. There is the marker. I'm going to hit the brakes right now a little bit. And hopefully we don't lose too much speed before we get to that point. I'm going to power the throttle through a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take the brakes back off now. Maintain some speed for a moment. That was coming off a little too quickly there. I can make this. This is doable. This is doable now. Got 1 minute to go 4/10 of a mile. This is doable. I'm going to keep it around 18 until we get to about 2/10 of a mile out. That should be enough. I might be slightly late. If I'm slightly late, I'll have to accept that because we have enough points available anyway. But I'm trying to avoid being late. I don't think it's going to happen, though. This goal is literally not makeable. If I ran the speed a little bit more coming in, I would have been able to make it. Okay, now I have to hit the brakes. I have no choice now. So we are going to be slightly late here, it looks like. Got to the goal, brakes on. So as you can see, I took the timeliness penalty about 37 points there, but I have no choice. I had to do it. Because I had to stop at that signal. If I'd gone a little bit more, I could have probably made it on time. But we're okay with that. We're still going to be able to do a perfect scenario. Don't worry about it. 263. That's more than 250. So originally the goal should have probably been about 250 each. But there's our green. We're already good to go. Let's get going. Didn't think that train was going to be off our map yet. That's actually pretty quick. Is there another signal up there? Really? Why are we green already? Oh, there is a signal up there, I think. Interesting. Well, if you're going to give us a green, we'll take it. I don't know why we're green when we can still see the train ahead. That's bizarre. Oh, he's on the diverging track, so we're going to take the straight track. That's why we're green. Okay, there you go. Problem solved. All ahead, slow. By the way, he's going towards the portal, so he's going to vanish shortly anyway. We're going to get a nice view of that up here. Oops. Let's watch him vanish, shall we? Let's watch this train cease to exist. This is the most unrealistic thing you will see in a train simulator. Or maybe he actually goes on the track and doesn't cease to exist. Well, he went over the portal, so I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, I guess he's going to stay in existence after all. We'll get back in our cab. We'll keep doing our thing. Yeah, he is going to keep going through the next portal, I guess. He's going to go up to the portal up here, probably. Whoops. He's probably going to this portal up here to vanish. Either way, we know he's going on to the other track. That's all we care about. I like to follow these other trains and see what they're up to, so that's something you're going to have to get used to for me. I like to see what other trains on the map are doing besides mine, as long as I know what I'm doing. And I don't have to pay attention to something at that exact moment. So you'll see me doing that a lot. Welcome to my channel. going to get this up to 100%. I know we have lots of time for the rest of our stops here. Like, we have to be at Lynch siding in 13 miles, but we have a whole 22 minutes to get there. So I don't think we're going to have a problem with this one. There we go. So as you can see, we're finally getting close to our 50-mile-per-hour speed limit. And doing the math, let's bring up our goal again. Doing the math, we have to go 3.5 miles. So basically we have 7 minutes to do it, as long as our speed doesn't change. Oh wait, no, I got the wrong goal up. We have to go 12 miles. Provided our speed doesn't change, that means we can do it in 24 minutes. We only have 20. I'm doing the math wrong. I'm going to start cutting my speed here a little bit. I'm going to continue having to cut my speed here a little bit. There we go. Oh, I know what I was doing the math wrong. 12 miles, if you're doing 50 an hour, you're basically getting 15 minutes or so to get there. So yeah, I was doing the math wrong. That's embarrassing given that I was a math major in elementary school. If only that was a thing. Yeah, as you can see, we've got plenty of time as long as our speed limits don't change. And I don't think they change very much on this road. Because it's a single track road, you don't even really need signals on here most of the time. It's just to keep trains apart, if anything. On the lines far to the north, especially with the ones where there's radio token block, you're going to have a set of signals for an entire stretch between stations. Here you have a set of signals, one after another, on a single track. And eventually you're going to come across a set of sidings that is controlled by another signal. But you don't have, you might have like 6 or 7 signals, and there's almost no point to them except to keep trains apart. That's the only reason they exist. In the far north, there's not enough train traffic to require that, apparently, in the UK, so it doesn't happen in the UK. But it's looking like a nasty weather day out here. Look at those clouds ahead of me. We have a green signal. There's one of our sidings. So the siding we're passing right now, center on me, is the Emkay siding east. Where's that other train? The other train is right there. He's continuing on track number 1, it looks like. Since we just passed Emkay, let's see where we're going next. We're going to be coming up along the Emkay Main 3 West right now. After that, we're going to be heading towards a milepost over here, 532. And if there's a milepost as a goal, you can imagine there's some kind of thing attached to it that we need to be worried about. So we're past Emkay Main 3 West at this point, or a checkpoint anyway. So milepost 532 we're expected to pass by in about 6.5 minutes. Which leaves us plenty of time to get to our actual timetable goal at the Lynch sidings. We're going to have to stop there. Now this is one of those scenarios where, while I'm the kind of guy who likes to give commentary on what's going on, I don't have a lot of information about this particular part of the track. I know there's different areas along this track, and this is our only scenario along this part of the track, so I'm kind of limited on the information I can actually give you here. I can tell you the sidings that we're passing as we pass them, bring them up on the map, and there are some communities that are related to these sidings, so I can show you where the communities are located. But rather than try and talk about all the different communities, maybe I'll do that on a future scenario when I do more scenarios on this track. But yeah, right now I'm more concerned about the weather and actually accomplishing this scenario cleanly. In fact, a lot of the communities, even on the number 1 and number 2 track, especially between Laramie and Hermosa, if I look at a map for Caloris, I don't find anything for it. Like, or Farrell, I get nothing for Farrell, just a rock formation, that's it. So, some of the things on this particular track, it's kind of hard to identify what is going on. Some of the roads seem like they're made up, some of the roads don't have names, some of them are just trails, not even roads. So you can pick out roads like an interstate because they're easy to pick out, but a lot of features are not as easy to pick out. And some may not even be replicated, so it kind of leads to the question of how accurate the route is. So it's easy to just, on this kind of route, it's easy to just go along and enjoy the drive. We have a single lamp green there. That green signal is just a single green, no other diverging tracks obviously, so nothing really to report here. Just continue along your track. As you see, I have a 75% throttle right now. I'm maintaining right around the 50 miles per hour, so I have not been touching that throttle My hands are completely off the keyboard. In fact, I'm just clapping right here to show my hands are off the keyboard. And I'm not doing anything. I'm maintaining that 50 all the way here. So this is just a case of me watching the screen with you guys to see what's going to happen. Might be a good time to get a picture of the train, so let's go ahead and hop outside. So as we continue through the Wyoming countryside on track number 3, gives my ears a bit of a rest as well, because I've been hearing that engine very loud in my ears for a while. So we are running on a 0.8% gradient. That is not changing right now, and all these cars are exactly the same. So I haven't had a problem with this car yet, unlike that one in the first scenario. We gotta be getting towards the end of the train now. This has gotta be the end of the train very soon. We should be coming to the end of it. There's a signal ahead. I want to get to the end of it before the signal. Come on, train. There you go. There you are. Here's the milepost. We have a yellow, double yellow. We're going to have a diverge. That's a lunar yellow, actually. Dispatch to 4949. That's a typo again. I'm going to route you into Lynch. There might be a problem with the train ahead. Wait at Lynch and stand by. Roger. Are we supposed to be 4949? Is that where we're supposed to be? We're supposed to be 4949. Really? It's getting a little repetitive now, this mistake. I hear that cars can get blown off the track sometimes. I wonder if that's what happened? The Wyoming weather sure is unpredictable. These clouds came out of nowhere. It was fine when we started. So we're going to be making a bit of a trip around a curve here. It's around the goal here where we reach our Lynch siding. So when we make the left turn, we're going to have to slow down for a 20. And the reason I know that is because we have a lunar yellow. So because it's a lunar yellow, we're going to be routed into the siding. We cannot exceed 20 miles per hour past that signal, regardless what the speed limit is. We cannot exceed 20 past that signal. We will get penalized for it if we do. So I'm maintaining 35 right now, but I'm prepared to slow it down. Actually, I'm maintaining 34 right now because I'm still dropping. So there you go. We still have lots of time here, so I'm not concerned about the time right now. If I bring up the goal, you can see that we have only about 2 miles to go, so we're good on time. We're good on time right now. There's our signal, so I'm going to start slowing it down now. Let's just do a natural slowdown for now. Actually, I'll put a little bit of brakes on the combined brake throttle so we don't use our train brake here. Though I'm prepared to if we need to. Trying to slow it down in time here. We'll see if it happens. Yeah, we're going to slow down in time. We're good. We're good on this. Can I actually remove the brakes now? Because I think we can do it without any more braking power. I'm going to actually apply the throttle for a second to hold there. Good. So we got an idea what our throttle is going to do now. In fact, I can push a little bit further into the 20. And we're still losing speed, so that's good. We're in good shape. We're in good shape right now. Actually, now I'm gaining, so I'll drop it again. Keep it coming down, thank you. That's what I want to see. Keep it coming down. Excellent. I'll power it back up. Okay, let's not do that. Too much power. So we basically have 6 minutes to get to our stop point. There's our lunar red. That means that we have to get into the siding right now. Welcome to Lynch. Now we just have to stop at the Lynch siding. Our expected arrival time is in 3 minutes, which is good because we got 5 minutes. Don't speed. I almost sped. That was a little closer than I would have liked. Ooh, look at this weather. Oh, I saw lightning. We have a storm. It's a storm. Any rain? Show me some rain. Make my day. Make my day. Go ahead, make my day. Apparently no. Oh, there's the rain. Here comes the rain. As country singer Joe DiMessina once said, "Bring on the rain. We'll wipe it away." She didn't say that part. Woo! And yes, I think I just dated myself a little bit with that Joe DiMessina reference. That was a 2001 album, and just to give you a little bit of an idea of where that song originated from, that song became a signal after the September 11th terrorist attacks. I don't think it was planned to be a signal, it just became one after that because it was a good song to describe the attitude at the time. I still remember those terrorist attacks and I still watch the tape of it because it's just terrifying to think that something like that could happen, but something else, you never know, with today's political climate, something else like that could happen in a few months and we won't be ready for it. So let's just hope that is not the case. So I'm going to try to do a natural slowdown at this point. I'm close enough to the sign that a natural slowdown should work. I'm going to have to hit the brakes anyway, but let's just try and do everything naturally if we can. Yeah, so I'm in the siding now. I can come to a stop at any point. I want to get past the signal though, because that seems to be the fair thing to do. So let's get ourselves completely in the siding, and then I will stop. So we are almost fully in the siding. I'm going to put a little throttle on for a moment to hasten our arrival in here. So we should be fully in the siding now. We're good to come to a stop anytime now. In fact, our speed limit is now 30, so yeah, we're definitely in the siding. Our signal is 0.2 of a mile away. I want to come in range of the signal, preferably. I did not want to hit the brakes there, so let's not do that yet. That signal is up there. Is that a green signal? I have to stop at a green signal? Brilliant. Okay, let's hit the brakes now. This is good enough. We know it's a green, so we're going to be able to get going right away again. And I'm just going to let the natural slow down do the job here. There we go. So we should be going again in a moment here because our arrival time and departure time was right now. I fully expect to report on the potentially stalled train momentarily. "4949 westbound number 3, this is dispatch." Yeah, the number on the train is wrong. "The 7610 westbound in front of you has a fault. I'm going to route it to Harriman where you can pass." I'm going to assume I can go. If we check ahead here, that's where we are. Yeah, it's not moving, so basically it's already at Harriman. There you go. Let's get ourselves up to 30 and get the heck out of here. You notice that we did get our full points, by the way, and I think I misread that penalty before, because I have 583 now. I thought I had 263 before, so I must have had 283. That means I only lost 17 points so far. So, yeah, I guess that first timing is possible, but you have to be absolutely perfect, and it's not realistic. So I still contend that time should have been 1 minute later at the back at Speer. Really should have been 1 minute later. But it is barely doable if you pull the speed off correctly. So we're getting close to 30 right now. We're going to be off and to the races in a moment. So bringing up the timetable as we get up to speed, we're going to have to stop at the Perkins siding, 15 miles away from us. Again, this is not something we would normally know yet, except that we know we'll have our itinerary telling us that. But the fact that these are unexpected events causing this, and the fact that it's in our itinerary tells you that this is definitely... you're being given advance warning. It's like you're a fortune teller. You're going to be able to fortune tell, you're going to be able to predict that you're going to be stopping at Perkins siding without knowing what's going on. Then the dispatcher later finds out and tells you what's going on. So it's kind of funny that it works that way, but it works that way. So we'll hide that now. 15 miles. We got about... so yeah, we're about 14 miles. We got about 24 minutes to get there. That's plenty of time once again. Barring any siding speed limits. We're going to probably have another lunar at some point. Right now we have to maintain the 30 until we get past that signal completely, then we're in at 50. And I should be able to start speeding up now, so I'm going to try to maintain 37. Now I'm going to move up to 50. There we go, we're in the 50. So we can now get up fully to speed again. Is the rain stopped? The rain seems to have stopped. You have to deal with that rain on the windshield for a little while here. Let's zoom back out. So yeah, you notice that they keep referring to us as 4949. I think the scenario designer made a mistake on the number of the train. Anyone want to take a wild guess? Does that look like 4949 to you? 4949. Let's look outside. Nope, 4949. That's definitely 4949. Oh my. This DLC is abound with mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe not the right way to word it, but yeah, this DLC has mistakes all over the place. Oh. What will the next mistake be? Alright, we're getting our speed up to 50 now, so I'm going to start lowering the throttle again. I'm at 62% throttle right now. I'm going to watch the speed and see how that affects it. We're on a 0.8% gradient. We're maintaining 49. We have a green signal, no diverging tracks. This is probably one of the biggest stretches of straight track of no divergence on this route. And I'm going to have to go up to 75% throttle, so I'm going to do that right now. Now the one thing that's a little unfortunate about this scenario, this is our only run of the number 3 track in this DLC. But you notice that we go via Hermosa Main 3, and that is the last goal. That is where our scenario ends. We're not going to be actually continuing along the buttes. Which is a shame, because we were not going to see Red Butte at all on this DLC. Not until we do the additional scenario packs later on, at which point they're going to start cutting them in half. So we're going to have a part 1, part 2, even a part 3 sometimes. Which will make a lot more sense in terms of the timings for a scenario. You can do a lot more in a shorter period of time, point-wise, and really test a player's ability to keep to a timetable. Whereas a long timetable like this, it's easy to get off just a little bit, and you're screwed the entire way. So later on, we're going to see some 45, 50-minute scenarios on Sherman Hill, whereas these ones are all, these next 3 that you're going to see are all 80 minutes or more. And Matt Pendleton actually said it himself on his channel. One of the viewers on his stream, and he has a YouTube channel where this was asked in one of the videos I happened to watch. One of the viewers on his stream, on the chat that you see on the screen, asked about the scenario lengths in some way, and he talks about how he noticed that there is an enhanced failure rate the longer the scenario is. The longer the scenario is, the higher the chance for failure. So what they decided to do after they came upon this data was they started lowering their own scenario times. This does not control what other designers do. For example, we've seen Just Trains on the Kyle line. There's a scenario on there that's listed as being 400 minutes. You're going to spend the entire day. That's an entire work day. 6.5 hours, 7 hours on one scenario. That's a weekend project right there. So needless to say, DTG does not control what other scenario designers do. They can only control their own content. And they started controlling their own content such that their scenarios are usually no longer than 90 minutes. Now they try to do them up to 60 if possible. If it's going to need longer than 60 or even longer than 90, they're going to split it in half, so you got like a 40 and a 45 or a 50 and a 40. So they're going to be split in half in a reasonable way at a major stopping point. So they can then split it into 2 parts and actually give you 2 chances to earn a gold star and twice as much experience. So there you go. So if these scenarios would be like you can imagine if these scenarios were being redone today, you'd be able to clone 2 copies of one of these scenarios and make shorter versions with one starting at the later spot, and then just all the time he's being moved up in such a way to proceed along the scenario like nothing had ever happened. So it is possible to. I don't know. I'm not going to do this myself, but if anyone wants to make copies of these scenarios and make shorter versions, especially if you want to fix the problems in them, go right ahead. Be my guest. Fix the problems. And make shorter scenario versions for the workshop that work. And don't forget to change this to say train 4949. Or change the prompts to say 4969. One or the other. So what do we have coming up here? We're coming to Harriman 3 right now. There is a green signal. We can proceed. I think the train that we have a problem that's having a problem is up ahead. Let's investigate. Yep, there he is. He's actually talking to us right now. He's all the way up here. 7610 westbound to 4949. Got an engine fault here. I'll need to wait until some crew arrives from Cheyenne, so the road is yours. Looks like a storm is whipping up. You can see it getting dark as I sit here. Oh boy. Tom, this is normal. You can expect this to happen all the time around here. Get used to the weather. It's going to be a normal occurrence. You're going to see rain any second here, Tom. Get ready for it. There's the train that's stalled. There's the stalled train. There's the rain. Start clearing that away. By the way, there's Tom. There's me and Tom just chilling out in the cab. In the rainstorm. We're protected from the elements anyway. Oh, I see your problem. You only got one engine. You only have one engine. No wonder you have an engine fault. No wonder he has problems. He's only got one engine. Meanwhile, I'm over here carting about 5. Is it 5? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 engines. We're maintaining this 0.8% all the way along this part of the track, by the way. I don't know if that gradient's even changed once this entire way. Every time I look down, it just says 0.8. So Perkins siding is about 5 a little under 6 miles away, 5 3/4 miles. You can actually see that on the HUD. In fact, one of my early Sherman Hill recordings, I did not even know that the points showed up on the HUD. I realized that about 2 scenarios later, and I caught myself talking about it on a later recording. But it led to a little bit of mystery on my part when I had a 1,000-point score, and I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the screen at the end. Come on, show me 1,000 points. Yes! I didn't know. So once again, I'm not touching the keyboard. I'm just watching. I'm just watching with you guys right now. 75% throttle is how you drive along this route. 4949, whatever. This is dispatch. I have an early report of a lightning strike at Hermosa and a possible rockfall. Wait at Perkins till I have this confirmed. Roger. So we're going to probably get a yellow lunar momentarily here. That yellow lunar is going to tell us that we have to go into Perkins. And one of my friends just started playing Train Simulator right now, so I'll have to see what he's playing later. Stop yet? Nope, still raining. So this signal is probably still going to be green because we got 4 miles to go. So I suspect this will be a green signal. Oh, wait. No, that's our yellow lunar. I guess there's a long gap before the next signal. So, yeah, this red lunar is going to be a little closer than I expected to be here. This might be a bit of a long trek. So I'm just dropping the throttle down to 62% right now. I can start dropping just a little bit, but not too much yet. The problem, however, is I'm not going to have a lot of warning to my signal. So, oh wait, I know why. I'm going to have about 2 miles of siding to go through, so I am going to have to slow down. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut the speed a little bit here. So if I bring up the mini map right now, I'll be able to show you exactly what's going on up here. We're going to make a right up here. After the right, we're going to come to our point. So after the right, we have to start really slowing down for the siding. I'm just going to do a little bit of a slowdown right now, and then as we make the right turn, which is coming up right here, drop it completely. Once we get to 35, I'll go ahead and I'll maintain speed at 35 again until I see the signal ahead. And then once I see the signal, I will start slowing down again. We're going to keep our binoculars out for this view. How's our weather? Excellent. The rain has come on again. And forget the idling. I'm going to have to put on the brakes a little bit right now. There's our sign talking about speed limits over here. That is a 30 and 30. Whether you're passenger or freight going in the siding, but we're going to have a lunar. So, yeah, forget that. I might get down there in time, I might not. But we got 7 minutes to make this stop, so I'm not worried. Yeah, I'm going to get down in time, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little more speed on right now. So once again, our siding limit is 30, but because we're going to be passing a lunar, we have to stop at no higher than 20 past that signal. So now I'm going to drop the speed officially. Let's keep it going down, please. Thank you very much. Now we're within range, so I'm going to go ahead and put it back up to 12 and see what happens. We're losing speed. Fantastic. Fantastic. This is good. There's our lunar. Welcome to Perkins. As you can see, we're under a 20. Even though the sign says 30, we're under a 20. So the signs on this route are just not accurate. Either that or the interpretation of them is not accurate. I don't know which it is. Lots of problems with this route. So we're going to have to make a stop in here, and I don't know if the siding is big enough for our entire train. But we do have another signal up here that we're going to be going by, it looks like. This is a mysterious signal up ahead. I don't know why we have a signal here. Oh, we're starting to gain speed. We're losing some of our uphill. We're on a 0.3% gradient now, so the hill has shallowed a little bit. We're going to have to manage our speed a little more carefully now. How's the back of our train doing? Still a ways to go. Of course, I would know that looking at the signal on the mini-map, but... Four minutes to our stop. We're going to get there in plenty of time, so again, I'm not concerned. The only thing I'm concerned about is the supposed signal we have up ahead, which I can't really see yet. Oh, I never saw the number when you zoom in. It shows field of view 74, 86, 74, 64. Down to 40%. I never noticed that before. But I just noticed that now in the HUD. It shows when you're back at 100%. I don't see a signal here. I don't know what the signal marker is for. I do not know what the signal marker is for up here. I don't see a signal. There's an invisible signal here. We could be passing a red and we don't know it. Ah, there's a switch here. I believe that is a manual switch. Now we are on the correct siding path, so we don't need to use the manual switch, but we could use that switch if we needed to. This would probably come to play in some scenarios. Oh, I had the brakes on, didn't even notice it. I'll go ahead and apply more of them now. I'm not slowing down enough, so I'm going to actually put the regular brakes on in a second. Let's get this back down. Because we should be fully in the siding now. Yeah, we're definitely fully in the siding. A long way in. And those switches, if I center on myself, those switches are indeed manual. I would be smart not to hit those right now. Because I will derail if I hit those. They are manual. Yes, please stop. Thank you. Thank you kindly. We're done. Okay, moving on. Now we just need to get to Hermosa once we're allowed to move ahead. Our stops are not very far away. They're very close to each other here for the remaining locations. 5, 7, 8 miles. This is dispatch. Crew have arrived at Hermosa to survey the damage. Please stand by until we hear whether it is safe to continue. I already let the brakes off. Or I let the brakes off, which is not wise, but I'm not going backwards, so I'm going to live with it. This is dispatch. I've just heard that Hermosa has been deemed safe. The rockfall has not affected any track. You can proceed. Roger. Let's juice it. Pardon me. Juicing it made me cough a little bit. I apologize. I think we can take 30 coming off the junction here. I think this is okay. Yeah, we can take 30 off of here. That's fine. I'm going to lower the throttle anyway because we have to wait to get to a 50 anyway. There's no point in just jumping it all the way up. I'm going to let the speed increase slowly. We got lots of time to go 8 miles. Lots of time for an 8-mile drive. Ooh, look at that. Crossing a dirt road here. Tom, where are you? Tom! You're not under the engine again, are you? Yeah. Oh, there you are. Okay. And now I'm at 30, so I'm going to have to hold speed here. Why did I ask if he's under the engine again? This is my first ride with him. You can tell I've done other scenarios with him, right? And I hope you're enjoying the ride today on this Union Pacific 49 something. We question whether it's 4949 or 4969, even though it says 4969 right in the middle of my cab. So I hope you're enjoying the ride on Union Pacific something. And you're going to get to see the next scenario, which is going to be the one that I have been dreading the most doing. And I've already re-recorded multiple times and finally had to do a edited recording of because it just didn't want to work. The Midnight Magnet. That is a scenario that I am 100%, well, I can't say 100%, I'm 99% sure that scenario cannot be completed as timed, but there is someone in the Discord server who tells me it is possible. He has not provided notes, so I'm going to have to take his word for it, but I'm 99% sure it can't be done without some real corner cutting. You have to really cut some corners to get that one done. Now, on top of that, somehow do it without speeding and with accommodating wheel slip penalties. So I'm fairly sure it can't be done. And I will talk about that more next scenario. I'll show you what changes I made to it, because my edited version, I have made it more friendly for the player. And the final goal has been relaxed significantly, because you literally cannot get to Laramie at all in that scenario on time. So since we're just going to continue to Hermosa and keep going, we don't have any more stops to go. So once I get up to speed, I'm going to try to keep the throttle at 75 again. Our gradient is no longer 0.8, it's 0.7. So it's a slightly shallower gradient. I may have to manage the speed a little more carefully. But we should be fine getting to our final destination and continuing on the number 3 track. We should be okay here. And I'm going to show that in a moment. Yeah, we have till 10 o'clock to do this, I believe. Yeah, 10 o'clock. Look at this. 2 miles in 10 minutes? Not a problem. There's our double yellow, though, so we are going to have to keep in mind we have a double yellow. This is a diverging track notification. We should be ready to stop at the next signal as well, because there could be the possibility of having to stop. And also our speed limit is going down to 40, so I need to hit the brakes a little bit here. I may not make it down on time. I might have to actually apply the brakes here. So if you, if in my previous recording you may have seen me coming down the track, you actually see this track from the tracks 1 and 2. This track is visible. So we're coming back up on the, on those tracks right now, right there. So there's all the track we just came down. But where's our buddy from before? Where's our buddy? Did he go off the map? He, yeah, he did go off the map somewhere. He's gone. The guy we were following before has left. He's vaporized himself. Because we have lots of time, I'm just going to go slowly here. We have a lot of time to do this. That way, just in case we do have a red ahead, we can just go slowly and come to an easy stop if we need to. So I'm going to just accept the fact that we could have a red coming up. 20 is an okay speed for our purpose here. And as you can see, we're gonna get a perfect score here. There's no way we're not going to get a perfect score here. The only way I'm not going to get a perfect score on this scenario is if the power goes out right now. Let's put the throttle back on now. Now that I've started talking about power outages, I'm kind of in a hurry now. But I already have 1,000 points, so it's not a big deal. I already have scored that in a previous run, and that included running a red light. Of all the awful Forsaken things. Oh, water feature. Let's take a look at it, shall we? How's that for a view? So let's check our signal ahead here as we have a train that's just passing by over here. I need to see who it was. Ah, 7721 eastbound. We were meant to see him apparently, and I have a feeling this could be a reason for the signal. We might have to wait for this train. We might have to wait for this train. Let's investigate. Now we're just diverging. But we're going to act like we don't know that. We're going to look for the signal properly from the cab, and then we'll go ahead and we'll speed up. We know that our junction will be 30 at that point. At this point, I'm just going to maintain speed until we get there. And the signal's down view. You can clearly see the green at this point, so we are going to speed up to 30. We only have about 2 or 3 more miles to go. This shouldn't be a problem. Let's zoom out now. You should have seen that green by now. And we're getting up to 30, so I'm going to drop the speed, or the throttle, not the speed. I want to keep the speed at 30. I'm going to keep the throttle at 30 at this point. Throttle at 25%. That should maintain us close enough to the 30 limit. There's our destination for Dale. And our eventual goal of Hermosa is 3 miles away. So I've now cleared that. Well, there I was. Well, there was I thinking it was going to be a straightforward run to Laramie. There always seems to be something happening to keep you on your toes. Welcome to Sherman Hill, Tom. You're going to have fun here. Coming up to the Hermosa tunnel. By the time we get to the tunnel, we should be able to move ourselves up to 40 again. I'm going to have to ease off the throttle for a moment because we're not quite there yet. We are coming up to the downhill. But again, it's not going to matter because by the time we actually have the downhill really affecting us that much, the Sierra is going to be over for us. I may be mistaken on that. We'll find out. I think this is about a 58 car train we have here, plus our engines. So entering the tunnel right now. Let's see if we can get some headlights. Hey! Oh, you can actually see the road a little bit here. Turn off, turn back on, different settings. You actually can see the road in front of you here, which is nice. Another train literally is going by in our tunnel next to us right now. We didn't get to see who it was, but there he is, eastbound coal. And let's turn those headlights off now. There he is. You can see our standing light, which I didn't actually push. I pushed the wrong button for the standing light. Who cares? There it is. There's the sand lighting up. We're getting up to 35 now, so I'm going to ease the throttle off a little bit. No need to rush this. We're almost there. We're going to gain speed on this downhill now, so let's just take the throttle right off. We're not quite there yet because part of us is still in the uphill, but we're going to get there. As you can see, we're a mile away from Hermosa number 3, and then our final goal is half a mile after that. So watch for the orange mark on our map, on our HUD. If we need to apply brakes, we'll apply some brakes. We've been incident free so far, so even if we're late, I just want to stay incident free. But we should be there in plenty of time. I don't see an issue with this. This will be a good timing. There's Hermosa number 3 on the mark ahead. That matches our goal. And I'm just cruising at 34.5.6. We are completely on the downhill now, so we should be gaining speed at this point. Yeah, put a few miles on there. There's our orange goal. That's our final goal. That's the end of our mission. And knowing that we're going to reach it and still be under the speed limit, I'm just going ahead and keeping the throttle on at this point. We're getting another prompt here? Nope. No prompt. Just continue to the end. So you're going to see something very unnatural happen in a moment. You're going to see the emergency light come on, because when you have a train that continues past the end of a scenario, or rather the train that keeps moving at the end of a scenario, what happens is that you go into emergency brake application. The reason for that is because you could theoretically otherwise keep the map up, and the train will eventually go ahead and crash into something at the end, like a buffer at the end of the map. So the reason the emergency brake gets applied is so that you can't crash at the end of the map and you don't lose your successful score. So we're going to have that emergency brake coming on right now. Watch the red light in the middle of the 5 on the HUD, on the train. There it is. Scenario over. We're going to come to an unrealistic stop here. And we're not allowed to do anything else with the HUD right now. I can't even honk the horn. I'm not even allowed to honk the horn. The scenario's over. With the storm having passed, the rest of the run to Laramie proves uneventful. Well done, you have completed the scenario. So we're done here. I'm just going to go ahead and do that instead of come to a complete stop. This is why stop goals make more sense at the end, to be honest with you. But anyway, uneventful drive. We had a little penalty because now I know that that goal is very possibly makeable, but I lost 17 seconds there. 17 seconds, which is why I got 117 on the last goal. 17 seconds late. So that goal, it looks like, is barely doable, but is very, very tight. If DTG is paying attention to this video at all, I would recommend add 1 more minute to that timing. It is makeable, but it needs a little bit more relaxation on it to make it achievable. And then you can drop the points for all of them to 250, because I just proved you can have a clean run if you make that 1 minute later. Make that 1 minute later, drop it to 250, you have a very achievable run. Akin to those that you see in DLC today. So that is definitely something you can do. Definitely a good option there. Anyway, we're done with that scenario. We're going to go ahead and do the Midnight Magnet next time. But that is, as I said, next time. And we're going to do the edited version because I've confirmed for my own purposes that the other one is impossible to score on. The original one is impossible to score on. I don't know if you can put the edited version in there and actually force the score in, but I haven't figured out a way to do that yet. If I figure that out, I'll probably be talking about it someday, but probably not on video because it's probably illegal. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And you're going to see more like this, including more Sherman Hills. So I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for you, your part of the world, or afternoon. I'm Cyclone. I will see you next time for the Midnight Magnet. Bye-bye.